I am here, son. Look, we've got some technical difficulties in the local grid. Boys, we've got a blackout. So I won't be staying on long, lads, because I've got about 20% battery left on my phone and I need it with the kids and stuff. So I just thought I'd say a quick hello, but I'll be making an exit. But as soon as the power comes back on, mate, make it a long show and I'll join in. Mate, it's not even the regular season. Fuck off. I'll miss a week or so. 25 regular season weeks. I'll be there. Huh? Mate, Bogan, you can always miss a week. You just send me the information and I'll put it together. See you, boys.
Two, testing. If you can hear me, give me a, oh yeah. Fucking hell, Bogan. Shit show.
Yeah.
Well, I think, can you hear me now? Give me someone, let me know.
They should be able to hear you now, and they should be able to hear me now. Sorry about that, guys. It's all shambles all over the place. We don't even have graphics this week, so we've got the chat window up. So go nuts. He's going to be on the VOD chat.
Yeah, cheers, Coops. Oh, I can hear myself, folks.
Yeah, sorry, I was just testing the phone. So how's things, Breno?
Well, I imagine most people probably only just heard Joshy chat then, or even if they did.
They should have.
So Joshy will be.
Yeah, blackout at Joshy's. He needed to preserve the battery on his phone, so he will duck back in if the power comes back on.
Yes, I'll be just you and I for a little while, at least for the time being. Maybe we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Like that bloke could be just us tonight, mate. And we're going to have a bit of a brief look at our props and hookers this week.
Well, yeah. I'll bring up. I've got Josh's picks. You've got your tips in a little bit too late this week, and I had a fair amount of work on today. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to grab the graphics off NRL.com. So we're just going to have to talk them through, and the viewers can picture the players in their mind. They'll probably be half fucking shadow men again anyway, getting on NRL.com.
Yeah, probably. Look, I just want to say good evening to everyone in the chat as well. A couple of names that I'm seeing for the first time, and obviously a few familiar ones as well. So good evening, everyone. Teddy, good to see you in there, brother. Shieldsy, Benny, Tanaz, Ados, Cooper. I haven't seen that. Are you familiar with Cooper?
It's not Snags, is it? Wasn't his name Cooper?
I don't know. Cooper, apologies if you're a regular, mate, but welcome. Good to see you. Climmy, Shano, they're all there.
Ados is here for the first time this year, I noticed. He's the celebrity now of the Supercoach scene. He's going on everyone's shows and having everyone on his show.
Well, there's a different word you could call that, and it's not celebrity. It starts with S. No. Good evening, Lados. Thanks for joining us, boys. I hope everyone is well. Ryan, how are we? Yeah. So look, Joshy won't be joining us. We'll run through, I guess, a little bit of that format we've had in the last couple of weeks, where we kind of look at, what we think are a few top guys. We have merged them as well. So, we're not doing a deep dive into each individual position. We just chucked them together, and yeah, I guess with no king here, we can look at the chat a bit more and see what the boys are thinking this year. But yeah, apart from that, Bogues, I think the only other thing I want to mention is we did tick over the 500 subs.
We did.
A couple of weeks ago now. So thank you to everyone.
We did.
I don't think I've really jumped on. I missed last week at late notice. I'm back. Everything's all good. So
and Josh King honoured the bet even though he didn't have to, because it was at $4.99 by the time came around. But he's got his team name set up for him to cop abuse all year. But yeah, good on him.
Yeah, so what we will do in the next couple of weeks, I think just before the season launch, we'll do a little bit of a giveaway. We've got a few prizes and stuff to give away. So Yeah, I think we'll do that on. We might do it on team reveal night. So make sure you're in.
What
along to that one?
What have you got organised on your side? Because I know that Kingy's keen to give away a share in a dog. You've got a.
Yeah, I think he was
just had a wild Charmander appear. Oh, hello, he's back.
Boys, we are live.
Yeah.
Well,
we are live.
Mate, we haven't even started. We got Brent with Pokemon appearing in the background all of a sudden and disappearing.
Energex Queensland. Someone rang in. Someone said, BJonGameDay is not going to happen. You got to fix this, boys.
Oh, we probably got an echo on that, King. So just want to test out your mic again. Sorry about that. Hold on, just let me figure out your sound, mate.
And while we're doing that, I will say shout out to Tanaz as well. I think Joshy, what's his streaming? Is it FB Tanaz? Give him a look. He jumps on and slams through Fortnite streaming. He's been a supporter of ours, and we're definitely, if you're in any of the gaming, you've got some kids or whatever that's into that sort of thing, or you're into that sort of thing yourself, go over and give Tanaz a check out on Facebook.
Is he in the chat?
He's in there. He's giving me some comments in there. So.
Oh, that's him begging for a shout out. Right, gotcha.
Yeah, not begging for nothing, but you know. So cheers, Tanazzi, and yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, FB Tanaz, I think it is, guys. But yes. But I was just saying, King, I think anyone that knows me and knows me well enough knows I'm a bit of a hoarder. I collect some weird and wonderful things, and I do have a lot of sort of football memorabilia and odds bits and bobs, and it's got to the point where I probably need to get rid of it, and I've decided there's probably no better people to give that sort of stuff out to than the viewers at home. So I was just saying, you know, on Teamless Tuesday we might do a bit of a giveaway to celebrate our 500 subs, and then I know you said the dog's going to be something a bit bigger once we get close to that 1,000. I've probably also got a couple other special things in the store once we hit that magic 4-digit number, but definitely in the next few weeks we'll chuck some other little footy things up that hopefully people can enjoy, and we'll get them out to you, no stress at all. But just make sure, you know, you're on the live that night, and also if you're in our Facebook group, we'll also look after you with some entries. We'll just do some random, you know, wheel spins like whatever it is, and you know, get the people some stuff in their hands, which is just, you know, our little way of saying thank you. So, and I think what you're doing is obviously a bit bigger, Kingy, as well, with the 10% share in the dog, which is fantastic. So
yeah, mate. Look, it's mate. We all know. Obviously, I've been in the dogs for a while. It's one of the things. It's a lot of fun, mate. You get in ownership with something like that when you don't have any cost sort of going out for whoever the lucky person will be. You know, in 18 months' time, we might be cheering a winner together, and it's just something a little bit further to you know, widen that community on a few different fronts.
No, I like it. And, you know, we aren't sponsored or anything like that, Joshy, obviously. And
mate, it's my own fucking money. It's my own dog.
We do it for the love, and it's just a way to say thank you to these guys. We've got a lot of solid followers and people that have supported us for a while now. So it's just a small way to say thank you.
Forget sponsorship. This fucking prize out of my own fucking pocket.
It'd probably save you money in the long run. Like, come on.
No fucking top sport here on BJonGameDay. No more points bet. No fucking sponsorship. We haven't sold out again yet.
I wouldn't be against like Oak coming on board or something. We get smashed chocky Oaks every week.
Hold on, sorry, my mic wasn't live. Oak does need to sponsor us. How much fucking money I give those cunts with chocolate milk? Like
Choggy milk.
I fucking love that shit.
Are you an Oak man?
I am. It is.
I'm a Norco man.
Oh, jeez.
I like the Norco.
You just like it because it makes you think of Norks, mate. That's where the term comes from.
Oh, mate, love a set of Norks. I tell you what, I like the set of muffins on that thing I sent you the other day there. Shit.
Yeah, Joshy had to make the inevitable hooker joke when I asked who his tip for top hooker was. I
can send him a good one too. Shit. All right. Anyway.
We've talked enough now.
Anyway,
we'll probably get into it.
King, I said we were doing a little bit of a look at our front rows, the front of the scrum there, the front rows and the hooker this week, combining them together. So we'll touch on a few guys as we have in the last few weeks. That same sort of format with the top three, bit of value, some sleepers and a trap. So we'll see how we go, mate. We got no graphics this week because Bogan's fallen asleep or something. But
does someone have the list of what I put through?
I don't have your list.
No, I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, I have it on my phone, but I'm currently running at about 9% myself, so I'll bring it up.
Send me that because my phone's all good. How good are we going, Bud? Norco is the best, Benny. Geez, there's something always not right with you King and Benny and that, and it's all starting to come out now.
Fucking tapped in the head.
Look at these Norco. Oh my God, what's going on here?
Love the Norco. See? This is what BJ's all about.
Here's the thing.
Forget the football. Interaction with our fans.
Here's the thing. I've been around the country for work, and every time I go to a new region, I try their chocolate milk. And Oak's the best.
You tell them about BJonGameDay.
Yeah. No, I don't. Especially on last week's form.
I'm definitely not. If Norco want to come on board and you can sort it out, I won't be against it. But at this point in time, it's very hard to.
It's Oak. That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, King, I've just received some correspondence in relation to you. Now, I wasn't aware that we were not. You've gone individual hookers and individual props. So my list will be a little bit shorter. But mate, do you want to start off with the hookers?
Mate, I can mix it in. I can think on my feet. Even though I'm sitting down.
No, I think we should break it up, and I can just chime in with any other points of difference that I've got to your list because I still think they're worth sort of running through.
Sorry to interrupt again, but Ados in the chat has brought up Canberra lime milk. That shit is fucking gross. You know what was good? Raiders malt. There was a period when Raiders malt was out, and it was delicious. Sorry, fellas. Back to it.
No, hey, but
Supercoach talk.
Again, another segue, Hampton. Here we go. Another fucking tangent. Normal milk and Midori taste exactly like Canberra lime milk. Fucking brilliant, boys.
I've had I think one of those Vicks has pulled that one out, King, and it wasn't too bad actually, as bad as it sounded.
It did go all right. Anyway, we digress once again.
All right, so we'll jump in with the hookers, guys. Feel free to chime in the chat. We'll try to catch up to your comments when we get a chance. But we'll start with the hookers in the top three. Joshua, you got listed out in front of me. Pretty self-explanatory. The top one, we got Harry Grant, then we got Cook and Marnie. Now, I guess personally, I had a bit of a look at the hookers in a bit more detail today, and I think you either got to pick one of these top ones, one of these guys that are worth around that 600k spot, or that's pretty much it. Find someone worth a lot less, because I just think there's a clear cream to the crop in terms of that hooker position this year.
It is an empty position, really. It is an empty position of talent. I mean, you look at the dominant hookers over the last 5-10 years, and their attacking brilliance went along with all the defensive work. But outside those top 3 or 4, you lose attacking completely, and you're lucky to get the 40 tackles, 50 tackles a game you need out of some of them too. So, mate, I think this is a position where you've just got to go the top guys. I think. You can risk it on someone else, but I think you've at least got to have one of those top 3 as you're starting.
Yeah, and I mean there is a couple smokies in there which we'll obviously get to, King. But again, I mean I've had a look at a few guys. That hooker position's a little bit hard with Harry Grant missing round 1 because I think he's the guy that I would take every day of the week if he's there round 1, but it just makes it a little bit tricky to juggle. If he's not, you'll have to run. If you do want to start with him, you're going to have to run someone in that second hooker position that will play.
Mate,
and that
they've
could
given
look
us
like
42 trades, mate. Just fucking plenty. Just burn them.
I mean that could look like it could look like a Randall, or it could look like a Ruben Cotter, who's probably a bit more mid, but we'll get to those guys. But yeah, I think if you're not looking at Cookie and probably Marnie and Brendan Smith is also another interesting one. Obviously, he's going to move on from the Melbourne fold, but I think with the movement they've had with, Finucane moving on, they've also had some issues with Nas with the vaccine, and also Kamika in a bit of trouble. As much as, Smith will be moving on next year. Melbourne need him to
Beverage,
play
please.
and need him to play well. So I think he's still value as well. It'll be interesting to see how they use him. But it's hard to go past those three names you had up there, King, as the top guys. I totally agree with that. So Grant, Cookie, Marnie, I don't think there's much else there in terms of premium. I'll probably agree with you there, bud. Moving on to the top 5 value. And you've started off with Ruben Cotter.
Yeah, mate.
Tell me more about Ruben.
Look, as you say, probably a little bit more mid than hooker, but I love the name. I've picked the horse based on the name, mate.
Mr. Carter,
Done
Mr.
something
Carter.
I've never seen educated punter like myself do. I just, let a bit of chatter about him, a little bit of who's this fella and how's he going to go? And then I just looked at his name, Ruben Cotter, and I thought, fuck yeah, that can will do.
Well, apart from that, he's actually got a bit of validity to him. I think he's about 380 odd K. He's sort of very much mid, but also sort of that cheaper sort of mid-range price. It's a little bit difficult because he is at that 380 price. But he's got that duality to the second row as well, King. So you can flick in between hooker and second row, which is helpful. But from all reports, he's going to be starting at lock. They might move low to front row, which is also very interesting. But I'm not sure. It's tough because you want to start with him, but I also think there's some merit in waiting to see what his role is and how he goes. But he's a bit of a base stat beast, and just not sure. But he's definitely on the list to have a look at. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Second on that list you got there, and another guy I totally agree with. Probably a bit dependent on what happens with Josh Hodgson, but Tommy Starling, King.
Yeah. I'm probably not as big a fan of this guy as a lot of people are, but I can see why why he's attracting the attention that he is. If he gets that spot to himself, he's shown enough potential in previous seasons that there is something there. And I think, as I mentioned before, all the good number 9s in this game are attacking number 9s, and he's definitely one of those. So I just don't know. I think he might be one of those guys who sort of promises a lot and then doesn't quite get over that sort of level to deliver.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if Hodgson did end up moving on, all of a sudden he becomes a lot more relevant. But if Hodgson's still there, it's hard for that price of him as well. He's in that 300 range. So, yeah, I think wait and see. I think a lot of people, even Canberra fans in particular, and probably ADOS would be a testament to that. They were hoping Hodgson would be shipped off somewhere.
Well, that sort of thing, aren't we all over him? Like, isn't he done? Isn't he gone? Like, he's had enough chances, even from an NRL level, that surely the Raiders realise that as well.
Well, the word was he was getting shopped around. Newcastle might have picked him up to tie it, but it hasn't happened. So,
yeah, unless
I've missed something, yeah. Next down the list, mate, and probably a more obvious one, and probably one that a lot of people are looking at, Chris Randall.
Yep.
Now, obviously, the news that Jaden Brayley a couple of weeks ago has done an Achilles and will miss the season. I think it was the Achilles. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Newcastle don't really have another noted hooker on the squad. I think there might be another young bloke who's been training with the squad, I'd heard in one of our chats, but it's essentially going to be Randall. I think the only concern with Randall is, that the variable that is Adam O'Brien, whether he decides he wants to play Kurt Mann there for a little while and what sort of minutes he might get. But at 245k, I think even if he plays, if he only played 40 minutes at hooker to start the season off, I think he's got to be there. He's probably one of the better cheapies, I think, for the whole Supercoach this season, in terms of he should have some all right job security. He has a solid base. He's a bit of a tackle bot. He doesn't have all that attacking sort of flair to him just yet, but for 245k, and if you do want to run a Grant or someone that might miss round one, like I said, I think he's the answer to fill the gap when you need it. So, yeah.
Yep. No, very cool. Very cool.
Next on the list, and this is one I had not thought about or even considered once, so you can tell the people a bit more about this one, Kingy, and that's Will Smith. Change of club, up to the Titans now, yeah?
I think I just read through the rest of the fucking list of number 9s and they all look shit house. Mate, look, it's Will Smith. I mean, look, this isn't another name one, by the way. But it's just, he's played his guts out the last few seasons at Para. And look, he clearly may not be a first-grade football player for whatever reason, but experience is going to get him a long way. And I think, you know, wherever he ends up in that team for the Titans, I think he's good enough to sort of, you know, be a starting 9. You know, it's there's a lot of weaknesses there, but I just think with his experience elsewhere, he could prove something different and just something completely unexpected for a team that, yeah, might have expected something completely different out of him, you know, to what everyone else already knew, but even something different to that again. So, I don't know.
Yeah, look, I think he's a brilliant footy player just off the cuff, and he's been that kind of, unfortunately, he's been a, what's that saying you like to say? He's a
versatility.
Victim of his versatility.
Victim of his versatility. Yep.
You know, he can fill a number of positions, and he does generally do so fairly well. He's filled some gaps over the last couple of years. So I think the shame with him is, he just hasn't been able to establish himself as a genuine regular starting first grader. But yeah, he's brilliant to watch when he's on, and he can change the momentum of a game. But I can tell you right now, I'll be not going anywhere near him Supercoach wise anytime soon.
Hey, that's why I finished 30,000. And everyone else finishes above.
I finished 20,000. So we probably should, shouldn't talk to each other about any of this. And the last one you got there.
We ain't experts, lads. We ain't experts.
We're just
blokes who fucking have a laugh.
Enthusiasts is probably a better way to put it.
Pundits.
Yes. The other one you got on the list, and I don't know if this was another one you'll run out of names, but it was Tavanga. And you're a big Tavanga fan, King.
Mate, I am. How can you not be? How can he not be valued? He's the forgotten man. He is. I don't know. They've gone away.
Too many mouths to feed.
Huh?
Too many mouths to feed, and Nathan Brown. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
The pack's stacked. He's brilliant. He's so super coach relevant when he gets out there.
There's just some players that in all history, like it doesn't matter whether they got fresher. Some players were just better as 80-minute footballers. You know, some back rowers just, you know, it doesn't make sense that you're going better at the end of 80 straight than if you've played 55 with a 20-minute break in the middle. You know, like it doesn't make sense, but there's some players that just get into the groove of a game and they just get better and better throughout a game. And Jazz is one of them, mate. He needs to play 80 to be the best that he can be. So, anyway, fucking rant.
All right, so that's your top 5 value. I'll just have a look at my list because I think most of mine were props. Anyway, I had Randall. I had Cotter as a value prop, and that was it for the hookers. So, moving on, mate. Now we move into our sleepers, which for the hooker position is going to be a little bit tough considering we just absolutely ragged all over it by saying if you don't pick a top one and you don't go a couple of those other value guys, that there's fuck all really there. You've got no one listed for the sleepers in that position, and
that's what
I think
you just said. It's fucking empty, mate. There aren't any.
I think the only one that I could mention that could be going under the radar, well, not going under the radar, but it's definitely not he's copying a bit of criticism more than anything, and that's McInnes, mate. Look, he's 530k. He obviously missed all last season with the ACL, was it?
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
I honestly believe at 530k that he could potentially be value. I know he doesn't have the ceiling. You know, he's not going to go out there and set up tries and do all that sort of thing. But I can definitely see a world where, you know, he averages 65, 70 plus. And if he can do that consistently at 530k, I think there's some value to be had there. I guess it will be a little bit difficult to start with someone like McInnes who has missed this season. They got a new coach. You know, he's probably not going to play 80 minutes. He might only play 50 or 60 as they get him sort of match.
I think you're right, mate. I think, you know, he's that kind of workhorse. We know what we get out of McInnes. It's as I say, it's not really attacking stuff, although he dives over from dummy half every now and then. But what I think with McInnes is he reflects how many minutes he plays. You know, he doesn't score them in bunches and things like that. It's just steady throughout the game. So if he plays 80 minutes, I think he's a sort of 70 average player. But if he plays 65, I think he's a 55 or 50 average player. You know, and I think I'm not too sure at Cronulla whether he gets that full game to be Supercoach friendly. Oh, no, not so much friendly. Like even at the worst level, I mean, he's still solid, but I just don't think he's in the right team to meet his potential for Supercoach.
Look, we'll see what happens, but yeah, again, like I said, in that hooker position is very hard to find those sleepers. But maybe if you're running a Cotter, and you might have a McInnes at hooker. That also has a bit of help there, or Brendan Smith with the duality. So anyway, that was probably the only one I would put in that sleeper range. He's getting slept on, I reckon. Traps. You got Connor Watson here, bud.
But yeah, look, and it probably is. I think it goes back to, again, not many genuines at 9. I think it's more the fact that I think if people think that he can play that way, I don't think he can. So I don't think is he going to play then? Like Randall's in the 9. Where does he end up? We see like last year?
Well, he's at the Chooks. Is that Chooks now?
Hey, what?
Yeah, he's gone. Watson's off to the Chooks, because if we had Watson, all our answers, all the issues we're currently having are probably answered, if you ask me. If we didn't get rid of Watson, he's off to the Chooks.
Oh, no.
Back in Bondi.
Sorry, mate. I was fucking lost in something else. Actually, I saw, he went to the Chooks. Yeah, no. So that's where I was going with it, was that...
Did you mean Connor Watson?
No, Connor Watson, yeah. So he's there behind Verrills, Lussick. How does that all work around there? What position does he play? I think he's gone into a better team at the Roosters, but from where he was at the Knights, the potential was there a little bit more. With the Roosters, I just don't think he gets anywhere on the park where he can be effective in Supercoach.
No, it's a shame, because I think he was one of our best players last season. I, for one, still can't believe we didn't re-sign him. And again, when you consider the issues we're having with finding a halves pairing, and now we've got a hooker issue, this bloke would have filled either of those positions. So I think the Roosters have picked up, an awesome little player. He's going to probably play that spot off the bench. So I think he's about 500k, King. So yeah, you probably can't start him, but maybe once he plummets in a bit of value, if they did end up getting an injury, or I don't know, something happens. If he found like a regular starting position, I think you'd be all over him. But yeah, definitely can't start him at 500k. Probably coming off the bench.
And Victor.
I'd be surprised.
Victor might be in his way.
Yeah, obviously Victor can go there as well. So I think some healthy competition there, and he's a great utility, but he'll just be doing that for...
I'll tell you what, I was disappointed that Victor didn't get hooker status this year. I've become a little bit of a convert of Victor. I think in years gone past, I reckon he had a ceiling or was just average, but I reckon he would have been value at the 9 if he had that duality a little bit more.
And look, Joshy, that's it for hookers. So if you've got another diamond in the rough or a gem you got in eye on and you want to share it, let us know in the chat. I think the approach has to be... Are you not fucking listening to the show, Bogan?
We just talked about the cup for 10 fucking minutes.
I reckon he got a good 2 or 3 minutes there, Bogue. So
it's been the Cam McInnes show, mate. Fucking hell. Oh, fuck.
Okay. All right. Bogan's stitching us
up.
Mate,
I am sitting here half asleep. I'm eating chips. I'm drinking oak chocolate milk, the official milk of BJ on Game Day. I'm having a great time not having to fucking pay attention to what graphics to pull up and shit.
Look, I tell you what, I could go with Chocky Oak right now, but we'll move on from that. Kalini, I agree. McInnes won't make heaps of cash, so be consistent to pick up later on down the track when he gets back into the groove. Fair call. I'm not saying he's must-have, but I just think he could be safe. But yeah, anyway, I agree.
Boys, Josh Jackson-like for mine at the moment.
Look, another interesting one, Bogues, that ADOS is calling out to us, Segi. Now, there's news during the week. He's got a contract with I think it's the Manly Feeder Club. Is what everyone's saying. And interestingly enough, in that Manly side, they kind of are missing that hooker. I think Manu Fanasaway or whatever his name is still under trial.
Oh,
or whatever.
the attempted murderer.
Yes, I don't know what's happening with that. I mean, I don't even know if Segi's in the Supercoach system at the moment and what he'd be priced at, but he'd be pretty cheap. And if, at some point during the season he found a starting hooker spot somewhere for Manly, which I could see happening, he was very relevant once upon a time in Supercoach.
Mate, I've no doubt he would be one of my two hookers if he was starting. But how has he got away back?
I don't think it'll happen that quickly. I can't see it, round one. I think it'll be, a little bit down the track.
Easy, mate. Like starting over Randall, if he's the 9, because he is just a weapon.
I've got to put my pick in for hookers, guys.
Did you turn your microphone on, mate?
Yeah, I do. I do have my microphone on this time.
Oh, beautiful.
So my pick is a young fella from Manly. His name's Gordon Chan Kum Tong. So,
are you making shit
Gordon Chan Kum Tong.
Cummed on a what?
On tongs, apparently.
Gordon?
We cummed on a...
Oh, we've got a GCKT. It's like CNK.
Yeah, it's GCKT.
GCKT.
And apparently he's got a twin brother, but he's not listed.
His name's She. She cummed on my twang.
But there's, I believe there's Jonathan Chan Kum Tong as well. So you just wait until the Chan Kum Tong twins rip up the NRL.
That's what we always want to call their next greyhound. Everyone wants to call their next greyhound my face. Come on my face. Come on my face. Come on my face.
Back down to 500 subscribers there.
If you're looking for enough in that hooker position, Chung Kim Tong is worth a look, guys. And that actually reminds me, Bogues, there's another one. I don't know if he'll get a round one spot with Grant out, but he's got the duality between hooker and half. So if you're looking for enough that might be able to do something with later, Jaden Nikorima. I don't think he'll start, but just maybe watch. If you need a whole plug for round one, maybe just have a look at him. You can move him down to halfback if something doesn't work out down there as well. You could bring in another hooker, but anyway. I won't give that too much more airtime. All right.
On to the big blokes. The important players on the field. We've got through all the shit players that no one needs to give a fuck about. It's time for the forwards. Prop forwards.
The bookends. King, interestingly enough, I reckon you got a couple different to me, and we'll address the elephant in the room, and that's the best prop in the game by...
Let me miss the walk in.
And that's Payne Haas. I think if you're serious about Supercoach, and I'm going to say it, if you're any chance of contesting to win, Supercoach 2022, you must start with Payne Haas, in my opinion.
Disagree.
He's 600k. He'll be head and shoulders, the best front rower, bar injury. He's still just a baby. Yeah, I don't know. Do you disagree? Did you say?
Yeah.
Starting with him?
I don't. He hasn't done what Tamalolo's done. He hasn't done what other players like him have done in the past, probably better. Again, I single out probably Tamalolo, but I just feel like he hasn't separated himself enough from the rest. I'd say the same thing about Cleary. Right? I think Cleary has separated himself completely Supercoach-wise from every other half, except maybe a Skerrick of DCE. So I think if you're saying that about Payne Haas, you've got to say the same thing about Nathan Cleary.
Oh, I definitely would.
But like a lot of people are scared about Colin Cleary because he's 950. I think that because of his dominance, that takes away the doubt that there should be for the price. I think yeah, I don't know. Just a thought, just something that I know Haas is brilliant, but I just don't think he's that much better than everyone else at the moment.
Okay. In that position, he wasn't even the highest averaging player last season. That was IPAP, but we all know IPAP doesn't play for front
He's
row.
a second row.
And then you had Luke Thompson, 1.5 points on averages behind him. So he wasn't, when I say head and shoulders, I mean from, I guess, a football perspective, but I even think a Supercoach perspective, he will still be the best front rower. His minutes were reduced last year. He was playing 80 minutes at times in 2020. I think the best sort of amount for him is around that 60, 65. I think he's going to get fitter, bigger, stronger, all that sort of stuff. So I'm starting with him and I'm starting with Cleary. But anyway, the other one I want to briefly touch on well, not briefly, but just with the new rule change, King. Obviously, one of the rule changes is they're going to look at players having new positions added during the season. So I don't know what the rule criteria will be, but one guy that, I mean, you could use this rule to your advantage in the hope that it does end up getting a duality update. And it is Lolo. He's 480 something K. Do you ever see a world where, at front row, if you could pick him right now at 487K in the front row, would you start the season with him?
Fucking sold.
You would?
Sold. Yeah, absolutely. Mate, even 40% Lolo is better than half the fucking front rowers in this comp, mate. And yeah, don't sleep on Lolo, mate. Don't sleep on him. He's definitely worth even thinking about in the second rows.
So all I'm saying, obviously front row show, but there's word going around Cotter or Dunn or someone plays lock and Lolo shifts to front row. So if that ends up happening, maybe you possibly, is there a world you start with Lolo in anticipation for the duality update? I don't know. You might not, but it was a thought I had at one point in time, which I thought was interesting. Joshy, going back to our top threes, you've got JFH and Josh Papali'i as your other two top three front rowers.
Mate, obviously,
I've
moved away from.
So you tell me more about them and what you're thinking this year.
Mate, I've moved away from IPAP just purely because I see him as a second rower. I thought he deserved ranking as a second rower in what we're doing for the season. But, mate, Papali'i is probably the sort of unusual one there. But I think that Josh has been consistent enough throughout the past SC seasons to, you look at some players who have gone in there like Clemmers and like, Junior Paulos and things like that. And these guys have sort of dropped out again. But Parley's been that sort of constant. And that's why I just see him as sort of Mr. Reliable. But he's also got that ceiling we've seen before as well. So I think there's potential, 2 or 3 sort of good games out of him. And, he's the kind of one that can jump up to maybe 700, 750,000 just, miraculously. And then you can offload him. But
is that J-Pap, sorry?
Sorry?
J-Pap? Are you talking about?
Yeah, Farley, yeah.
Yeah.
And who's the other one?
JFH.
Oh, mate, yeah, look, consistency. Mr. Consistency. Mate, he's in a good side. We don't see the attacking stats out of him anymore. That's probably the hardest part with JFH is that you get the work rate, you get everything. But, back in the day, back 3-4 years ago, it was a little bit more sort of breaking him every now and then, and you'd see him play on the edge a little bit more than up the middle. But yeah,
I would not be. Yeah, I'm not. I just don't think they have the ceiling, King. I think that for their price, I can't even believe J-Pap. I can't believe I'm calling him J-Pap, but the original Pap, Papali'i, he's even priced at what he is priced to start the season. I thought he was really Josh Papali like last season, his minutes, his fitness, I don't know what it was, something with Ricky. He got better at the end of the season, but, there was the regularity there. He was only playing 45, 50 minutes.
Mate, I don't think you're wrong. Like, what you actually said there, we sort of all saw it last year, didn't we? Everyone just saw he seemed at 1 or 2, lengths off the speed that he usually is. Yet he still managed to finish the season with a half-decent average.
60 average, pretty much, so.
I think for me, for a front rower, as you say, I'm happy with that,
Yeah, and for the same reason, just as I'd probably be less inclined to go JFH because he doesn't have the ceiling. At least with Papali'i, you're going to get those tries and those things in his game. But for 540k, I'd be spending the extra 60 and going Haas if you don't have him personally. But anyway, the other bloke I had in the top 3, and I broke the rule because you're saying you excluded IPAP. I had TPJ there, mate. At this point in time with my team drafted up, I've got Haas and TPJ as my starting front rowers. I know he's going to play on the edge, but obviously Supercoach-wise, he's pickable at front row. If he can keep his discipline in check, and I think under Barrett and Phil Gould there, some guys that'll, hopefully get around him in the right way, I think he could be a weapon in 2022.
Yeah.
And I'm very eager to start with him. There's a world I see where I don't. If I need to free up some cash, he could be a guy that goes. But at this point in time, I'm very keen on TPJ, especially on that edge for Bulldogs. But obviously, he's not a front rower.
Yeah, can't say I don't like it, mate. Yep.
Yeah, so we'll see. He'll probably take someone's head off in round 1 and be out for 6 weeks and be on 0. And,
that's fucking what you get with him, isn't it?
So, anyway, we'll move on from the top 3. We'll get into the value for the front rowers, and you've gone Utoi Kamanu as the first one on the list.
I think everyone is, isn't they? Everyone sort of looked at the potential that this guy had last year when he got more minutes. At early 400,000s, I think the potential's there to be a Huss-like dominant player. I think he's probably a little bit bigger than Huss, but a little bit slower. But he's probably got a little bit more athletic ability, I think, than Huss. I don't know. Weird as that sounds, just that different little way that I see him. But
he scored 6 tries last year, Kingy, as well. So he tends to find that white line a fair bit too. Yep,
for sure. No, he's got that. Most front rowers freeze up, mate. Most front rowers like ourselves, mate, we sort of see that white line and you fucking drop it or something, But this guy can find it well and truly, and there's no hesitation there when he gets the opportunity.
I'll drop
a ball 5 out with fucking 30. No one within 30 metres off me. Shit.
I'm not getting anywhere near the trial. I'm getting chopped down well in advance of the trial. I can tell you that. Look, he's interesting for me. I mean, everyone is pretty high on him. Everyone's all over him, and I do agree. I think he mixed it with. He used to play with Haas or against Haas, like they've come through together, sort of thing, and they've all got he's got as bigger raps on him as Haas does. It's taken him a couple of years longer to get here.
Yeah.
I do find him a little bit awkwardly priced. He's 25% owned currently. His minutes share last year wasn't awesome. I think he debuted.
What do you mean he's awkwardly priced?
457K.
You've just gone and said they came through the ranks together and he was as big as bigger potential.
Well,
yeah, you're going to jump on Haas at fucking 700,000.
Let me finish. His minute share improved to finish the end of last year, and that's when his points also improved. But he was still about a point per minute, even when he played 60, 65 minutes. So I think if he plays 60, 65 minutes, he's definitely got to be picked. But you look at the way he started the season, I know he was just introduced to first grade. He only played 30, 40 minutes, and it gradually increased throughout the season. It'll be interesting to see how he starts the season. If he's had a good preseason and he's a disciplined, well-drilled kid, he could come out guns all blazing. But I'll be having a look. So I don't have him in there currently, but there's a lot of people that do, and I don't blame anyone. But I'm more of just having a look at this point.
Fair enough.
Next in the list, you got Gula, mate.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Don't know why.
When you were doing the list, were you on the toilet or something? 410k, 46 average,
mate,
47 average.
Bogus fucking pressuring us to get these in. I slept, went to bed early last night. I woke up this morning. I thought, fuck, I better not let the bogan down. And then he didn't want to fucking do the graphics anyway. So there you go. Mate, Gula, I don't mind him. What I saw last year was all right. So
maybe you see him getting a more senior role in the forward pack. That might mean he sees a bit more time out on the field. So. Because his PPM's not bad. If he gets the minutes, he can produce the scores. Yeah. It's just the minutes that seems to be. You only get that 40, 45, so that's the problem.
Yeah.
I'll jump over to my list because fuck your list. I don't know what was going on there, but hang on. Who else you got on your list before I say it? Georgie Burgess, 200 odd K, Josh.
Yeah, you just know he can average 51, 52, you know. Like, for me, this is just a money grab, mate. I think
247K.
Yeah.
Gotta
useless
start with him.
fucking English cunt.
You got to start with him.
Yeah.
You've got to
Yeah,
start
you
with him
gotta
as one
start
of your non-starting front rowers, I reckon, or
Yeah,
possibly even,
yeah. I think
provided he starts.
he's Chris Randall level ownership.
Go back to you've got Paulie Vaughan.
May Vaughan, yes. New club, new place to be good at for a year before he turns to fucking shit and starts rooting things. Fucking this is
Was
what
he
we
throwing
want. This
barbecues?
is the Paulie Vaughan we
He was
want.
cooking lamb and shit. That wasn't rude.
Mate,
it was
boys
barbecues.
and girls, he gets that first year out of the way where he's a fucking superstar. He puts a fucking chip on his shoulder and he says, "Oh, you have signed a gem here," and then he fucks it up.
Hang on. I've just seen something from Clemmy. This changes everything. Gula owns a mad kebab shop. Only thing that's going good for him. I'll probably start with him now. If you're telling me Gula
I'll
owns a
tell you
kebab
what,
shop, he's in.
You
Captain
boys
every
want a
week.
fucking sponsor? Go out and find Gula's kebabs, mate.
If there's nothing I love more than a chocky yolk, it's a mean kebab. So
Mate, go out and
I could
find
get around
Gula's kebab. Next week's BJonGameDay show for Brent Hampton will be live from Gula's kebab shop.
Look, I don't know where it is. Clemmy, give us some more intel. If it's within,
Clemmy,
if it's
we
within
need to
driving
know,
range,
mate.
I'm going there and we'll do it.
Yeah, we need to know, Clemmy. Let us know.
Anyway, sorry, I digress.
Yeah.
Paulie
14.
Vaughan, he's 482K king. You know, it's interesting. He still managed to average 55 last year. He's obviously fallen out of the Origin squad, and there were some issues
He
last
can
year.
come back.
But I think he's a good shout at 480K. Is that awkward price again? But you know, if you're looking for a pod, and you know,
Mate,
could be
first
looking for a
season at
bounce back.
Dragons. Remember the first season at the Dragons?
Yes,
Mate, he had some massive games.
he was an Origin player, mate.
He was
unbelievable.
scoring tries. He had to perform. He had to prove himself. Mate, get on.
I love your list.
What's the opposite of the Liam Knight Award? That's fucking Paulie Vaughan this season.
It's got to be the Turbo Award, doesn't it? Fuck.
All right, maybe not Turbo, but anyway.
So just to update on your comments, so Emery Gula's kebab shop is called What's Up Brothers, and it's in Sydney. So,
fuck.
So Shano, mate,
Provided
Shano,
COVID.
if you want to send us in another fucking video, mate, of you honing into a Gula kebab, that'd be fantastic.
What's
mate.
it called?
What's Up Brothers.
What's Up Brothers?
I'll tell you right now, if I manage to find my way to a footy game in Sydney at any point this year, COVID allowing it, I'll be there. We're at Cordell Park.
He's actually got, his family owns two What's Up Brothers stores, one in Gregory Hills and Condell Park. I have no fucking idea. With a third store set to open next week in Campbelltown. When the fuck was this?
Fuck, killing it.
Christ,
that was June last year, so he's got one in Campbelltown as well. So,
that's probably easier. Fucking Campbelltown, jump off the highway.
So if you're near What's Up Brothers, at BJ and Game Day Show on Twitter, send us a pic if you're getting a Gula kebab.
Come on, let's do it.
King, if you make your way down for the cup this year, we might have to do a bit of a road trip. But
I'm up for it, mate. I'm actually going to come down for a full week and a bit this year, rather than just a weekend visit.
Well, let's go do a BJonGameDay live at the footy, and we'll stop past
I'll have to clean my house.
Sounds good.
All right.
Who's in Canberra? So I'll have who's fucking Adro might even fly down for it to do it with us. Who we got down in Canberra?
Well, Clem's even given us some condiment, chili mayo sauce. Get the heart attack meal, please.
It's only a two-hour drive for Shano if he floors it.
Yeah, Shane ain't come up to Highland. The kids will be old enough to look after themselves by then.
Clemmy's saying he'll go and correspond live. That'll be good. We'll have a live BJonGameDay correspondent. So, look, we're off the track again. Another one back on my list, Kingy, is I don't even know how to say it. I think it's Tapai Maroa. King. Tapai Maroa, 205K, duality, front row, second row. team list will be the one that determines
How
whether he's
many
in the
games
side.
did he play last season?
4.
Is this the same Tepai Mairoa that was at Parramatta?
Correct. Yep, that's him.
Fuck. How did
He did-
Parramatta let him go? He was an
Well, he went
absolute
to
idiot.
Union, I think. I think he went for a couple of years to Union, or he went overseas or something. He defected for a bit, and
He's a
he's
good player.
He's a very good player, and I think even if he's on that bench in that Melbourne side to start round 1, there's another guy. It is a must-have. His average in 2021 was 16, but as I mentioned with Brendan Smith, you've had Finucane move on. There's some issues there with NAS
Wild Turkey sponsor.
and Kamika. Wouldn't you love that? Wouldn't you love
Wild
that?
Turkey.
Another guy.
Nectar of the gods.
That's an alcohol-free bourbon that Josh is putting on YouTube there. I don't know if it's the same rules as Twitch, but yeah.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah, put it in a fucking paper bag, you bum.
We're going in a double skin fucking cup.
Anyway,
Oh.
Wild Turkey, you want to get in touch with us?
Wild Turkey, Oak, Kebabs. It's a good night. All 3 of those sponsors, please.
Fuck, I tell you, we got 1,000 followers in no time. Can someone tag all 4 of those brands, hashtag it or whatever?
Oh, mate. And then they'll watch the end of last week's show and go, "Nah, we got to distance ourselves from this."
Why? What, for our assessment of Indigenous Australia?
Yes. We might get a sponsorship with Nescafe though after my comments.
God. Oh, God. Tepai Mairoa, 205k, dual front row, second row. Have a look if he's starting come TLT. Definitely, he's 37% owned as it is. So a lot of people have him, but he'll be more owned by round 1 if he's in that team list. So, I don't know what else is here. I've said those ones. And who's on yours? Matty Eisenhuth and Fledgler. Fucking hell. I'm going to get another scotch. Talk about these ones. I'll be back.
Who?
Eisenhuth and Fledgler.
Oh, right. Hey, fucking, these are, there's another one on the list as well, Horsburgh. All 3 of them together, Eisenhuth, Horsburgh, and Flegler. Mate, one of these 3 blokes has got to get better. Eisenhuth's a little bit older, started a little bit later. But one of these 3 guys is going to step up.
So they're on your sleeper list because one of them is bound to not be shit.
Correct.
2 of them might be shit, but all 3.
What I've figured out so far in this glorious game of fucking Supercoach is that the people who win every year are not necessarily the better Supercoach.
Okay.
They're the people who got the head or tail right when someone asked heads or tails. They're the ones who, when you had to roll fucking odd number, you rolled an odd number. When you had to fucking get red or black, you got red and it was red and the other person got black. So that's what this is. These 3 guys basically make up one of that decision where someone's going to get it right and someone's...
What are you talking about? Are we going to get fucking our channel
No,
deleted?
not yet.
Still
as I said, we were...
How's Clemmy's comment? You're sober enough to drive, Josh. Mate, I'm fucking all right, aren't I?
Just to lift the curtain, a couple of seasons back, we were thinking about switching over to Twitch. We would have been yeeted off Twitch super fast.
Really?
Yeah, they don't put up with some of the shit we say, so...
Yeah, well, it's one of a kind show, this one. And, had a couple, Clemmy. Had a couple, mate.
Look, there's a couple of names, and one of the boys has dropped them in the chat. We've got Penne from the Warriors. Have a look. I don't know what the role will be, but I still think there's too many mouths to feed in that Warriors pack, Ados. I just can't see... I can't see how he becomes relevant. They've just got too many meatheads in there. They haven't lost really anyone.
Look at it the last couple of seasons made over their Warriors, right? The Tornoa Brown or whatever his name was, and there's those kinds of lads that came through. They didn't really perform as well as they needed to grab the cash, eh?
The other one I want to mention, we'll have a look on Penne. He could be a good shout, Ados. I reckon he's on the list of keep on the eye on. But And another guy that's probably on the same list
Fucking nowhere.
is Bulmer. Ethan Bulmer. He's moved from Brisbane to Manly. I guess the issue is cracking that top 17, but he's got the duality front row, second row. He's a really good player. He's still young, still sort of getting blooded in the first grade.
I reckon
see what happens,
Manly are
and-
picking blokes on names these days by the sounds of things. Like, yeah, he's got an interesting surname. We'll pick him.
And I think keep him on that list. Have a look at 280k. He'll be pretty popular pretty quickly if he does. He score 40, 50 points at that price. Ryan, he's said him a couple of times now. JSAF. Look, I'm a Newcastle fan, obviously, and I love the Safidi twins. Clemmer hasn't moved on. I thought we might have moved Clemmer on in the off season, to be honest, mate. That said,
how do you drop off so much last season, mate?
I don't know. I think he's lost. Something's happened there. I don't know what's going on.
Because he peaked.
He was a top 4. He was an elite front rower.
Could it be the? I know there was a lot of talk about the changes to the speed of the game last year. Could that have affected Clemmer?
I just think he didn't look interested.
Thought he was probably one of the more fitter ones. Like that. It wouldn't have. Yeah, that it would have been to his advantage.
He cooked me in a couple drafts because I went in fairly early and I thought he'd be good again because he had a brilliant 2020, but it just wasn't there last year. He finished the year a bit better, but yeah, it was the work rate wasn't there, the offload
and probably
pretty much wasn't there.
Mate, they probably could say the same for Daniel Saifidi. Like talking about JSAF, JSAF was almost the one out of the 3 that stood up. You had the 2 established ones from the previous season, and yeah, Dan just didn't probably do as much as some might have thought he would have.
Yeah, so, Clemmer's still got 2 years in his contract. He's got 2022, 2023. So I don't know if it was a personal thing behind the scenes that we won't ever know about. But I'm hoping he pulls his finger out. But if he doesn't, there's no reason why we couldn't move him on because JSAF is an absolute beast. Look, he's 400k. I don't think you can start with him, Lemming. That's the problem. And I totally agree. What you're saying about JSAF, he was the better of the twins. If it wasn't for injury, I think he would have been past where D-Staff's at now, and D-Staff's played Origin, so he also wasn't generally a front row, I think. But I agree with you. I think JSAF was and probably is still the better of the twins, and if he gets another good year of footy under his belt, he could be a guy we're talking about this time next year. It's just a little bit hard this year with Clemmer still there. 400k, like, have a punt. It's not terrible, but I won't be doing it. But credit to you if you do and it comes off because I don't think it's a bad shout at all. Good call.
Yeah.
Lamming. What else is in here? Sleepers, King. Now there's a lot of people a fan of this bloke. AFB sleeper. What are we talking here?
Yeah, boys and girls, don't forget to join the group 987311. Mate, AFB. Has he injured himself again?
I don't believe he finished the year. I think did he finish the year injured? I'll have a look on.
I just had this thought. I was like, yeah, I like that coach for some reason, but hang on, why was that again?
I think of last year's because he was fucking cheap.
Oh no, he's just a big bastard and can fucking run hard, isn't he?
No, he finished the year well. He's an unbelievable beast. Like his PPM is amazing. He generally will be over that 1.1, generally up to 1.2. If he plays 60 minutes, the bloke's a bloody weapon. Scores 70 sort of points with ease. He's just so big. Like he must weigh at least 120 kilos. At least surely. He's a big.
I mean, he's only about 4.5 foot tall, isn't he? But
I love him. I actually really love watching him. He's a great front rower to watch. He's got the offload. He's got a bit of late footwork. He's a big man. We all love a big man with a bit of footwork and a
twinkle toes.
Yeah, and an offload. I'm getting quite aroused just thinking about it. But he's what sort of price? He's 500k, King. So I mean, if you're looking at running, we don't want to run Haas. I think this bloke's a very good shout. As an alternative, it's just, his average is only 57, and that's because he doesn't get the same sort of minutes because of the type of player he is. But he also does have that silly shit in his game. But I'm hoping since moving to the Warriors, maybe he possibly was up for the captaincy as well. Maybe as he matures a little bit, he might get that head right. Yeah, I think he's good. More of a draft sort of guard you're looking at pick up in draft. But
Yeah.
you know. And your other two, you got Paulo and Horsburgh.
Oh, that's where Horsburgh came in. Right, yep. Yeah, a little sleeper in Horsburgh. He joins the fucking Three Musketeers. Who are those other two cunts I spoke about, Bo?
Oh, I can't remember.
Who are the other two cunts? Who are the other two cunts, Hampton, at the bottom of the other list?
In the bottom of the... Which list?
Fucking 5 value or whatever it was.
Flegler, Eisenberg.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
These three fuckwits. One of them's going to be a good footballer.
Okay. Yeah.
One of them. Two of them aren't.
Right.
Place your bets, people.
The reason we run the show is so that you can tell us which one, so we can get on.
Mate, I just need people to make up their own decisions. Can't give it to them all. But yeah, mate, I think just these are the kinds of guys where one of them is going to make that sort of step up and turn into a really, really good Supercoach player and good footballer. I'm leaning. Who was the other two again?
Paulo. And...
No, not that cunt.
Oh, you're talking about Flegler,
Eisenhuth, and Horsburgh. I'm leaning towards Horsburgh, but he's got a tendency to cry in games, so I don't know. There, we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, that's something I personally have never seen. So if you're brave enough to cry on a footy field like that, and also give it the finger at the same time, which is also quite remarkable.
Weren't you a teammate of Josh Dugan at some stage?
No,
he was crying to a bit of that, wasn't he?
Yeah, but that's emotionless crying. That's him being a little bitch. Horsburgh was laying out his soul.
Sorry, let me reframe that. First grader blatantly crying. Look, I'm all for it. Don't show the emotion and whatever. But he played, and that's him. He plays with his heart in his sleeve. He digs in. He has a crack. He's the sort of bloke though. He makes an error and then he makes 5. But when he's on and he's ripping in, he rips and tears. So look, he's a good probably an old-fashioned footy player, I guess. If maybe one of the guys.
Some lads here talking about Arrow, mate.
Yes, I was going to mention that, and possibly a good shout. I hadn't really considered Arrow at all, to be honest. I know a few people are keen on him. Apparently he's going to get on the edge.
Hang on. So last year, I'm just going to rewind for a little bit. We're just going to go back in time, and I put Arrow out there. Is it purely that this season he's got duality with front row? Is that enough? Because compared to what I think he started last year at about 420, 440, he's about the same again.
Well, Sewer's moved on. They've got a regular edge player who has moved on now. Jaden Sewer's obviously gone to the Dragons. So if there's suggestions that he's going to fill that spot and play decent minutes, apparently he's really fit. I saw a photo of him they put up on the South's Facebook or whatever it was the other day. He's got leg arms and all that sort of stuff.
Looking like an action
figure. He's a good shout for that front. Yeah, absolutely.
He just feels like a better version of Cardi.
Well, I just think he's only got big arms because he spends so much time in rehab. That's the issue. He's got a number of injuries. He's always a back spasm away from being taken off
rehab.
the field.
I'm like, why'd you get
not that rehab.
That's the fucking rehab. That's the rehab you're going to be in by round fucking 14.
Sports related performance rehab.
Look,
it's not a bad call. That front row, I like it. I like it, boys. I think there's some merit in it. If he's starting on that edge, and he's been in the past one of the Supercoach guns. It's just, I don't know. He's probably like what Paulo did to a few people last year, and what a couple of boys in the chat just mentioned. He abused your trust, and you weren't angry. You were just disappointed. And Arrow's done that for me a number of times over the past 2 seasons. So. I'd be reluctant because he has that injury sort of history, and I don't know if he's fit though and he gets it right. Might start looking at him very quickly again early in the season.
Can some of you fuckers share this onto like the Fanatics page and Addicts pages and stuff like that?
Well, Josh is his best.
I've sort of forgotten to do the last couple of weeks. Huh? They can watch the replay.
Yeah.
The only other bloke I'll mention that was on my list, and it could be fucking an absolutely terrible call, but I was a bit like you, King, and I was like, I don't know what else to pick here, but
Yeah.
I've put Renouf for Tony on the
to a
list.
manga.
Now, he was a bloke who made a debut, I think, last season for the Dogs. Renouf.
Well, his name, he changed his name.
Has he?
So he'd been in there for a couple of seasons. So it was Renouf to Manga.
Okay.
And he changed his name to Renouf for Tony. And I think where's he ended up at?
He's joined the Chooks, so I don't know what his prospects are like, and obviously security could be an issue, but
look, security isn't a huge issue. I love this guy. I love how this guy plays. You know, I was speaking about fucking Horsburgh and all those idiots. One of those guys coming good. This guy can get there in the right system, and maybe this is it. So, not a bad one, mate. But leave that.
I like him purely just because when he gets the opportunity, he's a base stat beast and he's a handful. I just think the issue will be he might only see 20 or 30 minutes, which will seem just going to be completely not relevant. But his duality, he's got the duality, front row, second row. He's 370k. Yeah, it's a bit hard to start with him, but I had to find something, and that was all I could find. So
yeah, not bad, not bad.
Yeah. And we'll finish off your trap in the front row position, and you've got Collins, Lindsay Collins.
Oh fuck!
This is a big call. This is a
boys. This
big
is
call.
A sneak preview of the fucking Liam Knight Award. This kid.
Oh, you're kidding.
This is a sneaky preview. This one.
This is the
the
third week in a row where
he's the current. You know when 6 weeks out from the Oscars they held the fucking Golden Globe.
Oh.
And whatever cunt wins the best actor, then they think he's going to win the Oscar one. Mate, this is it. This cunt has won the Golden Globe. He is fucking on his way to the Liam Knight Award.
I reckon.
Lindsay Collins, he's fucking nowhere.
So what's the call? I'll take a bet up.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, it just got in.
I'll take a bet on this one.
Mate, I've just fucking lost 100 on the weekend and your stupid shit.
So did I. Don't worry about
give
that.
Me shit fucking pool players, mate.
So did I. Don't you fucking worry about
fucking that. Robbo, here I am thinking, look at this cunt talking all shit. Gets his brother on for a fucking 25-minute interview. Neil, fuck off back to the UK, son. Robbo, he fucking played shit.
If it was the other Robbo. Anyway, that was
Joel Younger. What is he even doing in the field?
Hey, hang on. Stop trying to deflect from your Collins call here. I'll take this one head on, I reckon. We need some sort of threshold. What are you calling? Because I reckon I'll take it.
It'd have to be averaged by a certain round, fellas.
No, the Liam Knight Award is a fucking senior award for the BJonGameDay show. This is a season-long. Fucking how you going? I tell you what, here we go.
Throw something at me.
Throw something at me. You tell me what he's got average. You tell me. What's passable? What's he priced at? What's he average? What's his priced at?
All right, so he only played 6 games last season. I think it was an ACL. There was 3 Chooks that all injured themselves in that same game. It was a horror game for them.
Yeah.
What he averaged in 6 games 58.7.
Yep.
But there was some okay attacking stats, including that. Probably played 45 minutes, give or take, 45, 50, let's say, sort of average 50 minutes across those 6 games.
All right, hang on. What? So, all right, based on the stats we've got there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we agree that the social assumption about this kid and the football world are going to say that this guy's going to improve?
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
People will say, as they're saying now, he'll play Origin, and he's one of the guys coming through.
So they're going to say he's going to play Origin. What did he average last year for the season?
Well, you got to remember it was a 6-game average of 58.7.
All right, so it's a 6-game average of 58.7. All right, so let's say that's inflated and fucking no, it's not. It's 6 games. That's a fair average. That's a fair sample size, I think. So 58.7. If this guy's got to improve, let's say he's got to average 66 or better.
66.
Is that what? 8 point increase?
That puts him as a top 3 front row in all the Supercoach.
Mate, that's what people are talking. That's what people feel like they're thinking, is it?
No, I'm not putting him in that cloth. I'm just saying
Well, you
What
tell
he
me,
did-
champion. Come on, son. What do you think? What are you
If
fucking
you-
rating between 58 point fucking something and 66?
Well, I thought
Champion.
if you
Come
said
on,
60
son.
if you said he's going to average 60 by the end of the season, I'd be and ahhing, and I'd be probably going to on the wrong side of it. But 66, I can't see 66 in.
Well, throw me
anywhere,
something
but-
in the middle, mate. Give me a bone. Fuck. What do you got, son?
Fuck, you're putting me on the spot here. I can't see him. I couldn't. If he averages
So
over
you-
60,
so hang
he's a
on,
top
wait.
five front rower.
So you've gone from wanting to have a bet on this to agreeing with me.
No,
You
I just
can't
don't
even
think he'll
come up
average.
with a
I don't
fucking
think he'll.
number because you feel
No,
like
listen. He's done an ACL. He'll be coming back.
All right. Let me step in as a mediator here. Average 50 over and under.
Average what?
50.
So hang on. So you think that a player that's going to throw potential and become a better player than he is this year will be defined by his average going down by 8 points?
Oh, well,
You gotta
that's
remember,
I just set the
his average-
terms for a peace
I'm-
agreement. Do you want to say 58 over and under then? He either goes up or down.
Who will win the Super Bowl, Teddy? Mate, the Rams. Fucking, I said the Rams fucking 6 weeks ago.
Um,
No.
I wish I had got
Joey,
$12.
Co-
Joey and the
Coca-Cola.
boys. Joey
Nah,
and
Bengals
Chase
have
will
got
get it
nothing.
done.
Nah.
They'll
Joey
get it
Burrow
done.
will fucking fold Matthew Stafford's washing.
No.
Um,
Bengals will
Vladimir
get it done.
Putin will win the Super Bowl because that's when he'll
What were we
invade the
talking
Ukraine.
about? What was I getting so
Well, he'll
passionate
probably
about?
bomb. he'll
So
probably
he
bomb
either
it.
goes up or he goes
Lindsay Collins
down. So
average.
I know
over
what we're fucking
over.
talking about. Can you guys? He's got to go up. If you're saying he's a better player,
All right.
call it. All right, here you go. Ados has come up with 60 average. Let's call it a 60 average. I feel like I'm getting a little bit fucking dogged here and it's a little bit rapey.
I don't. I think
Everyone
I think for a
knows,
bloke
Josh, that
who-
you were asking
No,
for it,
listen to
mate.
this.
Like, and you shouldn't have
Listen to
dressed
this.
like that.
in 2018 he averaged 26. In 2019 he averaged 20. In 2020 he had a jump to 46, and then last year he played 6 games and averaged 59 because he had.
Someone do my job
some
for me and
tries.
get me his ownership.
He is currently selected in 6% of teams based on what I'm looking at.
6.
Oh, he sounds like a fucking
Yeah.
sleeper to me.
I was just about to say, well, obviously
I-
enough
I-
people haven't
yeah.
fucking picked him for me to get this passionate about him, but I
I
have.
think that average is a bit inflated because he had attacking stats that he generally wouldn't get in 6 games. That, like I said, he wouldn't see that over the next 18 games, generally speaking. I think his average is inflated as a result of the small number of games he played. I'd go 55 overs or unders. I don't know, take that, and 60's too much. If he's a 60 average front rower, he's one of the best Supercoach front rowers in the comp. I'm not suggesting that.
What did Christian Welch average last year?
Now let me have a look.
That's the benchmark. There you go.
59.2.
59.2. All right, hang on. One, you got to give that to me because that is what I accepted as defeat for last year, right? I'll
Yeah.
stand behind my words that bloke went better than I thought he would, but what he averaged was enough to say that I was wrong. Like I don't think he reached the potential that he could have, or that he showed in the first 3 or 4 or 5 rounds. But he had a very good to average season for someone who's also a Queensland emerging player, whatever. 59.2. Come on.
Man, I think 50s is unders and I think 60s is overs. So 59.2 isn't appealing to me. I'll give you. I don't even want to. I think 55 is a fair.
Mate, I can't
for it,
move from 59.2. I can't.
I'd give you. He's coming back from an ACL. Hasn't played for a long time. I'd give you like 57.5, and that's as good as I could do.
57.5, 59. Meet me halfway at 58.5.
Why don't just fucking make it 58, you pricks?
All right, whatever. What are we putting on
58
the
and a
line?
half. All right.
No, 58.
All right, 58. Fuck yeah, 58. All right. So he's got an
flat,
average
come
less
on.
than he did last year. Right, yeah. All right, 58. All right, mate. I'll go big here. I'll go big here. What are we putting on the line? I will get. We're going fucking ink here, mate. Have you got ink?
Oh,
You're a clean.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not fucking getting a tattoo over Lindsay.
I will get
that off.
a tattoo in here next to a couple of my other ones. Fucking, where's the camera? I will get Liam Knight's name on my fucking skin.
Liam Knight. Fucking hell.
There it is. How's that for you, Zay?
Yeah, I think you're going to be regretting that tomorrow morning.
And what's the retort? You're suggesting I'm needing ink of some description.
So
I don't even have any.
Need. I don't give a fuck what you do, cunt. You need. What's this cunt's name? Collins.
Lindsay Collins.
Lindsay Collins to average over 58 by the end of the season.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So he averages. Wait. If he averages 58 or more.
All right. I'll get that tattoo. You cover my pineapple, lobster, and fucking, what do you call it?
No, we're going pineapples and we'll be
pineapples
greenback.
and green. You cover my entry for those two.
For the classic leagues. Yeah, all right, done. For the 50 and the 100, done.
All right.
I can do that.
Liam Knight tattoo.
All right.
The coverage of a couple of leagues.
All of a sudden, a lot of people are just going to get behind Lindsay Collins. See Liam Knight.
I want to look
tattoo.
at the concurrents because I think after this discussion, all of a sudden we don't have viewers. We've got a few.
That's all right.
We couldn't have lost too many. Look.
Anyway.
All right. We'll move on from that. How Lindsay Collins been on your trap has ended up in that. Look, I will say the only other one I had, and it was because I couldn't find anything. I've put IPAP there, King, because I just don't know what's going to happen with him this season. He's on the outer. He'll obviously move to the Tigers next season. He's a huge price.
Do you know what annoys me, mate? What annoys me about IPAP is if we go back to the fucking cash cows or whatever it was last season, the sort of pod we had him on it. What annoys me is that he seems to have done it just so effortlessly. Like, it doesn't look like what he's become in Supercoach has been through hard work. Like, out there on the park, he doesn't look anything special, but he just gets it done. And whether it's blokes not being able to hold him or whatever in attack, and it doesn't look that impressive as some other second rowers have in the past.
I think the other thing that's quite amazing is he's only like 23 years old or something like that. Like, he looks like he's at least 30, but
his mum plays for New Zealand.
Is that right?
His mum is in the New Zealand Ferns team or something like that.
There you go. So he's got the.
So when they played the World Cup last year, his mum played and he played as well.
Well, there you go. I've got IPAP on the list. I struggled for a genuine trap. I just think with his price, obviously, he was one of the best Supercoach players last season, hands down, average 78.5. So, possibly a big call, but he's obviously signed with the Tigers for 2023. I don't know what Brett Arthur will do with him. We saw at times last year he did get rotated in and out as well. So at 688k, if you were considering starting with him, I don't think you can. And I don't know if trap's the right word, but I needed someone there, and I just think you can't start him anyway until you see a little bit more from him and what his role will be. But he's 12% owned, which is a fairly decent chunk.
If anyone wants to record that you could Photoshop fucking terrible shit in there, couldn't you? Digress.
My screen has frozen, so
yeah, mine too. That's all good. All right, boys and girls, I think that'll do us, eh? That's well and truly over the average time that I thought this season would be. But I've been enjoying it. Have we done something?
Yeah, look.
No idea. Second rows. We haven't been there yet, have we? Second row and fullbacks left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll do the second row and then we'll do the show on Turbo. Night, boys and girls. Thanks for watching.
All right.
Love you all.
Cheers, boys. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week, eh?
Second rows. Be there. All square. Bye. Are we done?